Hello guys, welcome back. Now today, we're going to be ranking my top 10 NHL defensemen for 2018. If you watched the top 10 goalie ranking video as well, you know that we're trying to make this top 10 both a mix of past performance and of 2018 stats. So it's going to be a mix of two. Some guys are going to have maybe a little bit of an off 2018 but are still on here because of their past performance, or vice versa. It could really be a long way, but we're trying to mix the two to make it even. And of course, there's a ton of great defensemen in the NHL right now, so ranking 10 is obviously very hard. So again, if I missed anyone, make sure you tell me down below, and of course, we'll have the daily discussion here. Now let's get right into this, and at number 10, I have John Klingberg of the Dallas Stars, and of course at age 25, he's been making a name for himself the past couple of years, and I'm pretty sure was second in points this past season for defensemen. In the 17-18 season, he played 82 games, had a full season, 8 goals, 59 assists for 69 points, was an absolute beast offensively too, and was really solid defensively too along the whole season. He really made a great strides to improve on that. And as a Dallas Stars fan, I know because I used to have a running joke that Klingberg would goof up plays defensively, that he would just be an absolute, just an abomination defensively. But last season, he massively improved on that and became the first first defenseman that Dallas really needed, being both an offensive beast and a great defensive play. Goals, 172 assists for 214 points. That's so far a pretty dominant career offensively, and he's really just getting started. At number 9, I have Ryan Suter of the Minnesota Wild at age 33. He's getting up there in age, but he's still a great performer. In the 17-18 season, he played 78 games, had 6 goals, 45 assists for 51 points. And really, the points aren't what really he brings. He brings a lot of points, but what he really brings is a defensive area. He has a lot of great numbers there, and he's one of the more underrated guys in the NHL when it comes to defensemen. His defense is amazing, and that's really what propels him. His offense is still there, and he's great at it, but the defense is also elite in that aspect, and he's done fantastic in that area. He had a 49.2% Corsi for percentage, which, again, he was getting a lot of defensive zone starts, so that would be, pretty likely, but still not bad for him. And his career, he's played 991 games, not away from 1,000, 75 goals, 418 assists for 493 points. Not too shabby there. Pretty much a half a point per game for a defenseman, and a pretty underrated one at that in his career is pretty dominant, and obviously that's spoken volumes to what he's been able to bring offensively and both defensively. At number 8, I have Seth Jones of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and he's one of my favorite defensemen, if not my favorite defenseman in the NHL. At number 8, of course, he's at age 23. Of course, like Klingberg, he's just getting started. In the 17-18 season, he played 78 games, had 16 goals, 41 assists for 57 points, and his Corsi percentage was 54.1, which was absolutely amazing. That's pretty much as good as you can get when it comes to defensemen. His career, he's played 393 games so far, has had 45 goals. He has had 137 assists for 182 points. Again, really, really good as well. But what he's been able to do, the breakout season, I feel this season as well, but he's become a first line defenseman, a first defenseman. I feel like he's one of those guys. Seth Jones, I feel like he's one of the more underrated guys in the NHL just overall, not even for defensemen. I think overall he's one of the more underrated guys in the NHL by far. And when you watch Columbus games, Seth Jones would be the dominant force. Werenski is, again, a great defenseman, but Seth Jones would really look like the number 1 defenseman for Columbus. And he's just a dominant guy offensively. He's a brilliant, gifted guy that looks like a forward at times. And defensively, he's amazing as well. He brings a lot to the game, and I feel like he's arguably the most underrated defenseman in the NHL. At number 7, I have Roman Josi of the Nashville Predators at age 28. In the 17-18 season, he played 75 games, had 14 goals, 39 assists for 53 points. He had a Corsi for percentage of 52.8. In his career so far, he's played 481 games, has had 78 goals, 214 assists for 292 points. Very, very good numbers for him. Above a half a point per game, which is great. But Roman Josi has been one of the more underrated guys in the Nashville Predators. He's been on the team for a while, and I think that's the underrated aspect. He's been in the NHL for quite a while, but he's starting to really get that recognition that he deserves. Again, with P.K. Subban, he's kind of getting a little bit in the shadows, but I still think that he's like a top pairing defenseman for sure. Roman Josi, he's an amazing defenseman, both defensively, offensively. He brings both very, very well, and while in the playoffs I didn't get the best impression of him, in the regular season he was fantastic and has been for a while. The ability to just get offensive stuff done and this defensive stuff at the same time is really what Roman Josi excels at. He's able to do pretty much everything right. At number 6, I have Alex Pietrangelo of the St. Louis Blues, of course, at age 28. In the 17-18 season, he played 78 games, had 15 goals, 39 assists for 54 points. He had a 51.5% Corsi for percentage. In his career so far, he's played 617 games, has had 80 goals, 277 assists for 357 points. And he's been a massively underrated guy for the NHL for a long, long time. He's been with the Blues for quite a while now. And I feel like he's, again, kind of like Roman Josi, starting to get that recognition that he deserves, of course, being the captain of the St. Louis Blues. And of course, when the Blues were struggling in this past season, Alex Pietrangelo was one of the few guys that were really producing. He was one of the bright stars there that really righted the ship and made them go on that run that was so close in the playoffs. For them, Alex Pietrangelo is their number one guy and will be for a while. He's their anchor, and of course, they rely on him to bring that offense, to bring that defense, and he does it pretty much every single year. At number 5, I have PK Subban of the Nashville Predators. At age 29, he won the 2012-2013 Norris Trophy. The 17-18 season, he's played 82 games, has had 16 goals, 43 assists for 59 points, and a 51.2% Corsi for percentage. In his career, he's played 582 games, has had 89 goals, 288 assists for 377 points. Obviously, a dominant force with both Montreal and Nashville. And of course, also being on the cover of NHL 19 ain't shabby at all and a big milestone for him. And with his PK Subban, his offense is definitely his best strong suits. His offense is amazing. His slap shot is lethal. His playmaking ability is fantastic. He makes it look easy as a defenseman. I think his defense is a little bit overrated, but I still think it's pretty good. And what the offense brings, it's definitely worth it. PK Subban, he brings a lot of importance to his team, a lot of importance to the Nashville Predators. And in the locker room, he's definitely a good situation. He's definitely a good guy in the locker room, and you don't really see it a lot. But he brings a lot of creativity there and shines his personality a lot. And of course, the NHL needs a lot more of a guy like PK Subban, and fortunately, we have him here. At number 4, I have Brent Burns of the San Jose Sharks at age 33. He's getting up there in age, but he's still a dominant force. He won the 2016-2017 Norris Trophy. 17-18 season, he's played 82 games in a full season, had 12 goals, 55 assists for 67 points. He had a 54.4% Corsi for percentage. His career so far, he's played 961 games, has had 182 goals, 384 assists for 566 points. And why I gotta remember, some of that was as a forward, so it would be likely that he got that many points. But of course, transitioning to a forward from the Wild to a defenseman from the San Jose Sharks has obviously worked out for him, and has been one of the best defensemen for a while with San Jose. He's a dominant offensive force. He's one of the best in the game at that as a defenseman, and he's an elite shot. He's an elite playmaker as well. Again, I think he's a little bit better than PK Subban in that respect, but overall, offensively, he's just super talented. The defensive end, I think that he's a little bit underrated. I feel like he is still a great defenseman defensively, but his best part about him is that offense. So I feel like he definitely deserves that. But the defense ain't bad either. He brings that personality. He has a lot to him, and he's just a great overall guy, and it's fantastic to see one of those guys excelling. With him, he's a great personality, he has great offense, great defense, and I can't really hate the guy. I don't think anyone really can. At number 3, I have Drew Doughty of the Los Angeles Kings. At age 28, he's of course, won 2 cups with the LA Kings. Won the 2015-2016 Norris Trophy. 17-18 season, he's played 82 games, has had 10 goals, 50 assists for 60 points, had a 53.2% Corsi for percentage. His career, he's played 770 games, has had 102 goals, 320 assists for 422 points. And the thing that Drew Doughty really excels at for me is that consistency. He has been a dominant force and an anchor for the Los Angeles Kings on the defensive end for years now, and he's just been showing it after year after year after year. He definitely deserves that big contract because of his consistency, because of what he's been able to do, and offensively, he's a massive anchor for Los Angeles, and somebody that they need. Defensively, he's an amazing piece for Los Angeles, and the consistency is really key for him. For what he's able to bring day in and day out, he's able to bring consistency. He's able to bring good play almost every single night. And I feel like he's one of the more consistent guys in the NHL and just bringing fantastic star power level play for the Los Angeles Kings. And for them, they definitely have their best piece there. At number 2, I have Victor Hedman of of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And of course, at age 27, he's again kind of still getting started. He's up there. He's getting in that middle range though. He won the 2017-2018 Norris this past season. In the 17-18 season, he played 77 games. He's had 17 goals, 46 assists for 63 points. He had a 52.2% corner for percentage. His career so far, he's played 626 games played. He's played 82, or has had 82 goals, has had 282 assists for 364 points. And again, I think that Hedman really denies the haters here. I think that's obviously, he's on a fantastic team with the Tampa Bay Lightning, but he's one of the reasons why they're so good. The offense is arguably one of the best in the NHL. His shot is lethal. His playmaking ability is just amazing. You see it every night. It's fantastic. The defense, I think, is pretty underrated as well. I think he brings a lot to that other players could not. And with Hedman, he's the anchor. He's the first line. He's the first defenseman that Tampa Bay needs and needs every single night. For Hedman, he's their franchise defenseman, and he really brings the offense. He brings the defense. He brings everything every single night. And for Hedman, I think that he's one of the best defensemen in the NHL. Obviously, I'm ranking him at number 2 is very, very high. So I like the guy. I do like what he brings, and he's one of my guys that I would love to have on my team. Now at number 1, of course, I have not said his name yet, so you know who it is. At number 1, I have Erik Karlsson of the Ottawa Senators, and why would I have him number 1? Why would I have him this far up? For me, it's about what he's been able to do on a consistently pretty terrible team. Of course, he won the 2011-2012 Norris, he won the 2014-2015 Norris. In the 17-18 season, when the Ottawa Senators were absolutely atrocious, he put up 71 games. He put up 9 goals, 53 assists for 62 points. When the Ottawa Senators could not score a dang thing, Erik Karlsson was always contributing offensively, defensively, and physicality-wise. For me, you know, I used to think that he was pretty bad defensively this season, but you see the advanced metrics, he wasn't bad at all. He was actually pretty good, and battling that ankle injury, I'm pretty sure, or leg injury, whatever it was, he was still putting up dominant numbers, you know, the regular offensive numbers that we came to see. And it wasn't really even an off year for him either. He's put up 627 games, he's had 126 goals, 392 assists for 518 points in 627 games. That's absolutely dominant, and so far in his career, it's amazing. And he even has continued the trend in this season when the Ottawa Senators were terrible, when of course he was battling injuries with his leg. He was doing everything despite being injured, despite the team being terrible around him. He was still dominating and being the usual Erik Karlsson himself. And what makes him the number 1 guy for me is what he's already done with the Ottawa Senators and what he continues to do with the Ottawa Senators. Being a fantastic guy, being an offensive guy, being a brilliant overall player around a terrible team for years, it seems like, despite them going to the Eastern Conference Final 2 years ago. So it's just been a dominant force, and dominant player, and amazing player. It's going to be interesting to see if he actually goes anywhere, if he re-signs a card with the Ottawa Senators, if he doesn't, where he gets traded to or where he goes. But with the Ottawa Senators so far in his career, he's done nothing but greatness, and offensively, he might be one of the best of all time. For me, what makes him number 1 is his ability to persevere through the terrible times, through when Ottawa was terrible, when the team around him was terrible, and of course being ankle injuries, having ankle injuries around him, he's been able to go through all that and still succeed. And for me, what he's been able to go through and still come out as a superstar has just been absolutely amazing. And for me, I don't see anybody else being number 1 but Erik Karlsson. So of course, if you think I missed anyone on this list, make sure you tell me down below. If you disagree with any of my selections, make sure you tell me as well. Again, the discussion is always amazing. But that is going to be it for today, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe. Tell me down below what you think of my list. Again, what do you think of my list? What would you change about it? And who do you think I forgot? And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.